Good evening and welcome to Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey for Pope John Lions football. Hi everyone, Mike Formisano here, calling today's scrimmage between the Pope John Lions and the Shabazz Bulldogs. Well, it's been a while since we've seen each other. 2.5 months since the Pope John Lions baseball team won the sectional championship over Montclair Kimberly back on June 7th. And if you are a football fan, it's been even further since we've been with you. That was on Black Friday at MetLife Stadium as the Pope John Lions played in the state final against DePaul Catholic. And unfortunately for the Lions, they fell 33-21. But head coach Dom Gaston's Pope John Lions are looking for that one last step this year, that one last step to get them to their 21st state championship. The last time the Lions won was in 2002. Well, they've got their scrimmage against Shabazz today, and then a rematch for the state final on Saturday, August 30th, as they'll take on DePaul Catholic at Pope John High School. That game is scheduled for 12 p.m. Let's go over the rosters. We'll start with Pope John. Now, a lot of the players today may very well have practice jerseys on, so they may not be exactly matching up to what we have on the roster. So let's just go with it, because it's going to be a game today as opposed to a controlled scrimmage. So they're actually going to have referees on the field, time, they're going to be making plays, etc. So we'll go with what we have. So we start with number 0, Prince Joshua. Number 1 is Nick McNone. McNone is a transfer from Caldwell into the Pope John program as a senior running back this year. The quarterback, number 2, Luke Irwin. Number 3, Yazir Register. Number 4, Zane Carswell. Number 5, Akai Griffin. Number 6, Alex Schreiber. Number 7, Matthew Rodriguez. Number 8, King Jackson. Number 9, Sam Canetta. Number 10, Alex Rakowski. Number 11, Luke Romano. Number 12, Vic Fiore. Number 13, Rocco Marchese. 14 is Edward Leonard. 15, Vincent Jessamaria. 16, Anthony Castro. 17, Amir Young. Number 21, Kai Marone. 22, Mike Marston. 23, David Thompson. Number 25, Aiden D'Alivo. 26, Luke Gialinella. 28, Owen Houle. 30, Carter Johnston. 32, Joe Lebrano. 33, Sean Bauman. 35, Seamus Corcoran. 44 is Tommy Walton. 45, Andrew Jessamaria. 47, Zing Russell. 51, Aiden Hanneman. 52, Ryan Watts. Number 54 is Riley Watts. 55, Sutton Fullwood. 56, Vincent Yaki. 57, Evan Kennedy. 58, Ethan Wilkes. 59, Charlie Formisano. Number 66, Jacob Post. 68, Landon Hendricks. Number 70, Cole Roddy. 81, Adrian Savitsky. 72, Mike Morelli. 77, Emilio Barranco. And number 80, Jack Rosenlund. The new president of the Catholic Academy is Sussex County. We welcome him to Pope John High School, Middle School, and Reverend Brown is Mr. Daniel O'Keefe. The principal of Pope John High School is Gene Emmering. The athletic director is Brian McAleer. The athletic trainers, Gerard Graziano and Jordan Martin. The head coach of the Pope John Lions varsity football team is Dom Gaston. Assistant coaches Cole Ferrand, Cedric Gaston, Rob Mayer, Jack Morelli, Austin Peterson, Teddy Sibley's, Jacob Vogel, Christian Vosa, and Stefan Whitehead. I'm Mike Formisano. We are here live at Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey. It's the last exhibition of the 2025 preseason. It's the Pope John Lions against the Shabazz Bulldogs, and that is next right here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Come on back for opening kickoff between Pope John and Shabazz right after this. Welcome back to Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey for the last exhibition game of the preseason for the Pope John Lions varsity football team. The freshmen and JV had a controlled scrimmage on Wednesday against Immaculata at Immaculata High School in a cold and rainy Wednesday morning. And a couple of days earlier than that, it was Monday, where we were at Monmouth University and the Red Bank Catholic Casey's were the opponent for Pope John. But again, controlled scrimmage, just running set plays and so forth. This is going to be more like a real game today. So we're going to go over the Shabazz roster. And again, we're not sure if they're all going to match up or not because of jerseys being different. But that way you have something to work with as I go ahead and pull up that roster for you. We start with number 5, Zayden McDonald. Number 8 is Raekwon Clark. 10 is Kareem Costrin. 12, Jaden Robinson. Number 13, Zakir Best. 14 is Godwin Cavoy. Number 15, Zayden Hughes. 23 is Salif Cadero. 24, Yazid Sharif. 25, Asaya Lawrence. 28, Antonio Blackman. 33, Assad Reynolds. 34, sorry about the name here. Akindumdi, wait, let me make sure I get this right. Adekumbi Adebayo. 35 is Jameer Howe. 35 is Amor Senor. We go ahead and flip the page. The second half of the Shabazz roster. There you go. 38 is Nasir Richardson. 41 is Cuvée Godwin. 42, Aiden Reed. 54, Elijah Walker Snell. Number 55 is Makai Dortch Walker. 57, Al-Zahir Purnell. 58, Nasir Bennett. 59, Dyrus Cancel. 77, Devonta Harris. And number 80 is Fahik Amin. And that is your roster for the Shabazz Bulldogs. They will be dressed in black uniforms with yellow numbers and yellow pants. Pope John has had a uniform change this year as Under Armour has become the official sponsor of the Pope John Lions athletic department. So the uniforms are more blue and white with just trimmed gold around numbers. And that's pretty much it. And in fact, well, for the exhibition schedule, the Pope John Lions are wearing blue and gold Guardian caps. But the helmets underneath, and what the helmets will be during the regular season, are white. So they're white helmets as opposed to the golden domes that they had last year and in years prior. So that'll be a bit of a change for the Pope John Lions. They'll have white helmets this year, and they have their white jerseys with white pants with blue numbers. And then at home, they'll have the blue jerseys. We haven't seen those officially yet. So it'll all roll out as the season starts. Now, the first game against DePaul Catholic is going to be at Pope John High School at 12 noon. I believe there's a new entity that's come on board this year. It's called Super Conference Network. Or Super Football Conference Network, SFC. And so they are taking some of the games that Pope John has on their schedule, and they're going to highlight the Lions this year. So I know they already have 3 of the first 5 games on the schedule. DePaul Catholic, Paramus Catholic, which is the Friday night lights game, at Paramus Catholic on September 5th. And I think Bergen Catholic as well. So they get those games, and we won't be able to bring those to you. Other games on the schedule, we'll see. Now, a lot of those days, the freshmen are going to play at 9 a.m. So, for example, DePaul Catholic, that noon start for varsity. Well, the freshmen have a 9 a.m. game at DePaul Catholic. So we're going to go cover that game for you. So we'll cover the freshman games on Saturday mornings or on Thursday afternoons. JV is going to have games on Mondays, and we'll have those for you as well. So plenty of freshman and JV coverage throughout the year. We'll try and get all the games. Varsity, we may not be able to get all of them. Maybe we get some. So we'll wait and see what happens with that. Also, we'll throw soccer into the mix, boys and girls soccer, field hockey, and volleyball. And I know their scrimmages are starting next week. So plenty of action here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. But it starts tonight with the scrimmage between the Pope John Lions varsity football team and the Shabazz Bulldogs. And we're just waiting for Shabazz to come out of the locker room, hit the field. we'll have the opening kickoff, and we'll be underway right here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Come on back to Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium right after this for Pope John versus the Shabazz Bulldogs.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
They have cheerleaders too? They used to play with this all. Cheeky.
Welcome back to Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium, right in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. Mike Formisano along with you, calling today's scrimmage between the Pope John Lions and the Shabazz Bulldogs. And I wanted to get a shot of the Bulldogs coming out of the locker room here at Southside High School in Newark, which is literally just a stone's throw away from New York City. If you look over the bleachers over there, you can see the Freedom Tower in lower Manhattan and the New York skyline. Well, there is Shabazz running onto the field for this scrimmage between them and the Pope John Lions. The Lions already on their sideline at the 50-yard line. We'll see if they have the national anthem, if they have opening lineups from the PA announcer here. Your two quarterbacks for today's game are going to be Luke Irwin, who's number 2 on the roster, but he's wearing a gold penny, wearing number 7, and Vic Fiore. And Fiore is a sophomore on the squad. And I've been watching him for years with the junior Lions, and then last year at freshman. Vic is wearing number 14 in the gold penny, but his jersey number 12 for the regular season. So Irwin, number 7, and Fiore, number 14 in the gold pennies today. And again, most of the players wearing regular jerseys, and they have the jersey numbers with the white pants, but some with practice jerseys, and they may not be exactly the ones we have on the roster. If that's the case, we'll just go with numbers. So, and with most of Shabazz, we're going to go with numbers unless like it's a big play that happens and so forth. Well, Shabazz is on the field. We're just waiting for the teams to meet at midfield, and we get started here. Beautiful Friday night. Not a cloud in the sky. Maybe it's 75 degrees. It was about 82 here in Newark earlier this afternoon. So summer definitely winding down. It hasn't lost its grip just yet. It's still warm outside, but not that heat and humidity that we experienced for most of July and the first half of August. So Pope John High School starts next week. And then by Labor Day, the day after Labor Day, all the doors are open throughout the Catholic Academy of Sussex County. So we'll see referees on the field. So, and again, this is going to be, as opposed to the controlled scrimmages on Monday and Wednesday, this is going to be like a regular game today. So that's why we're bringing it to you. Well, the first freshman game on the schedule will be 9 a.m. Saturday, August 30th against DePaul Catholic. That'll be at DePaul Catholic High School. I believe we'll be there for that for you. The noon game on Saturday, August 30th, will be at Pope John High School. So if you can go out to see that game, we invite you to do so. I think that game will be carried by the SFC network. So, and also you have Big State Sports, who carry some games throughout the year. There was a new contract that came into place earlier this year where they're picking up more postseason games and different tournament games throughout the schedule as well. So we'll see what is covered, what is not, and we'll be there for the rest. So the Bulldogs are on the far sideline in their black jerseys with gold numbers and yellow pants. Pope John on the near sideline in their white jerseys, blue numbers, white pants, and the blue and gold Guardian caps. Referees are coming to midfield. Team captains heading out to meet with the captains from Shabazz. I see Prince Joshua out there, along with a couple of linemen. Lions will have their hands full with the Shabazz team. Big varsity players for the Bulldogs, and they did well in their conference last year. You know, Pope John, if you remember, they were 2-7 in the regular season, but that was really because of the schedule that head coach Dom Gaston put together. It was a brutal schedule. They faced the top teams all throughout New Jersey, but it paid off because come playoff time, Pope John ran the gamut, and they went ahead and took care of Camden Catholic in the first round game. Then they went to Paramus Catholic, and they defeated the Paladins 14-10 in what was definitely an upset going on the road to take care of Paramus Catholic. The Lions had lost earlier in the season 49-29 against Paramus Catholic, so to win that playoff game in the quarterfinal was huge for the Lions program. Then they hosted St. John Vianney, who had knocked off a superior opponent to get into that semifinal game. And Pope John took care of St. John Vianney in the semifinal. I believe the final was 48-14, and it gave them a berth into the state final against DePaul Catholic, where the Lions had a lead in that game. Tyleek Hill had, I think, 3 touchdowns. Hill now graduating from Pope John and is off to my alma mater, Syracuse University, and we'll see what he does under head coach Fran Brown for the Orange this season. We wish him well as all the graduates from Pope John coming from the program. All right, there is the captains of the Lions coming off the field along with the Shabazz captains going back to their sideline. We are all set for football here. It's the last scrimmage of the preseason, but in essence, it really is the first game these Lions are playing since last year's state final at MetLife Stadium. So, pretty good crowd for an exhibition game. Shabazz fans in the far bleachers, and then behind me, good crowd and contingent for Pope John, as they always get plenty of support. So the team's taking the field. Pope John's going to be going right to left on your screen in their white jerseys, blue numbers, and white pants. Shabazz will be going left to right in their black jerseys with yellow numbers. Shabazz written across the front and yellow pants. It looks like the Bulldogs are going to kick off to Pope John, so the Lions will get the ball first. It's set up right now for 12-minute quarters. So you can see the scoreboard over to the left. For the Lions, it looks like number 8, King Jackson, and number 14, Edward Leonard, back to receive. We're just waiting for the Bulldogs to kick off and start this last scrimmage of the preseason. It'll be number 38 kicking off for Shabazz. Here we go as he approaches the ball on the kick. High end-over-end kick down to about the 20-yard line. Takes a bounce, picked up by number 18 for Pope John as he carries it across the 35 down to about the 36-yard line. So of all the numbers on the Pope John roster, I don't have an 18. So I'm going to assume it may very well be King Jackson. I know he's supposed to wear number 8. It may not be, but I heard that he was going to be returning kicks. See, a lot of players that don't even have numbers on the back, so we'll just go with what we have. I know that Luke Irwin, the quarterback, is wearing the number 7 gold penny. Well, he starts in the shotgun, 1st and 10 for Pope John. Is a snap, takes it, hands off. The running back was met by the Shabazz line right away, brought down at about the 34-yard line, maybe 35. It looks like he got to the 35, right back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10, maybe 11 for Pope John. Pope John up to the line. Irwin again in the shotgun. Prince Joshua in motion. Handoff to the running back. Sweeps towards the near side and is met by the defensive end for the Shabazz Bulldogs. Number 1 for Shabazz making the tackle. And it brings up 3rd and long. No, Pope John out to the line. We see Irwin working the gun as well. Shotgun formation for him. We have movement on the line. We'll see who it's against. I think it was encroachment against the Bulldogs. And it is. So, 5-yard penalty against Shabazz. That should move Pope John up to about the 39, maybe 40-yard line. Call it the 39. Now whistle. And we have a timeout on the field as Shabazz wants to talk things over. 10:23 to go, first quarter here in this scrimmage at Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium. It's the Pope John Lions and the Shabazz Bulldogs. No score right here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. We'll be right back.
That gate was closed. And I don't know if it's open. We parked right behind the bus, but then the gate was closed. For us, you know what? So it's better. They brought it back.
Welcome back to Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey for Pope John Lions football. Mike Formisano here calling today's game. Last scrimmage of the last one for the preseason before the regular season starts in just 8 days. The Lions taking on the Shabazz Bulldogs. Irwin in the gun once again. He'll drop back to pass. Finds a man downfield. Intercepted. Number 2 for the Bulldogs, and he takes it back into Pope John territory. So the pass by Irwin right over the middle, and number 2, the defensive back for Shabazz, had a beat on it and was able to make the interception. Comes back across the 50-yard line, and they'll start in plus territory. 10:13 to go, first quarter. So the first drive for the Pope John Lions ends in an interception by Luke Irwin. So now the Pope John Lions defense takes the field, and we'll see their first test against the Shabazz offense. We're just going to go with numbers for the Bulldogs, again, in this scrimmage today. So here's the snap. Handoff. Oh, man, right at the line. Number 21 for Pope John with the explosive hit right at the line, and that is Cal Marone. Marone just pummeling the running back there. Well, good first defensive play for the Lions there, and Marone meeting the tailback head on. Again, one of the safety features that Pope John is implementing this fall is for all the exhibition games and all the practices, the players are wearing those blue and gold Guardian caps. They fit right over the white helmets that Pope John will be introducing come next week. So the quarterback, number 10 for Shabazz in the shotgun. Number 4 in motion. Moving on the line. Flags down. I think it's going to be a false start against Shabazz. And that's exactly it. So, move the ball back 5.
Oh, tuck in your shirt.
So, second down for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted at the 50. Bulldogs got to get to the Pope John 35 in order for a first. 2nd and 15. Quarterback takes the snap in the gun. goes right through the middle, flushed out of the pocket now towards the far sideline. And Pope John defense rings him up. One of the Lions players without a number making the tackle there. So good first two plays by the Pope John defense, shutting down the Shabazz offense here, and it's 3rd and 14. Give you a name on the quarterback for Shabazz, number 10, Kareem Costin. Costin is a junior for Shabazz. Quarterbacks for the Lions, Luke Irwin, a senior, and he transferred into the program last year and is with the Lions for 2 years. This is his second of 2 years. Vic Fiore, a sophomore. Costin in the gun again. 3rd and long for Shabazz. Takes a snap, drops back to pass, looking downfield. Has a man, bounces in and out of his hands, and incomplete. The intended receiver, number 4 for the Shabazz Bulldogs. It bounced right off his equipment and landed to the turf. So 4th and long, and we'll see if Shabazz punts. Oh, a good defensive stand by Pope John there for their first defensive set of this preseason. You know, the controlled scrimmages, you don't really count. They're just plays being run and so forth, and they're important for the development of what you're going to run throughout the season, so the coaches agreed to it. But in this first real quote-unquote game, a good defensive stand by the Pope John Lions. Snap is high. It's off the hands of the punter. He's going to have to swallow. He can't do so, and it's still loose. Pope John saying they recovered, and they do. The Pope John Lions recover the fumble, and they'll take over at about the 32-yard line of Shabazz. So great special teams by the Lions there, getting in on that fumble by the Shabazz punter. Eight minutes to go, first quarter. No score between Pope John and Shabazz. Referees will spot the ball at the 32 of the Bulldogs. So the Lions offense back out on the field for their second drive this evening. Sun is starting to go down behind us as the field is going north to south. North over that way and south behind the Pope John Lions, who are heading towards the end zone. Joshua in motion. Irwin in the gun. Drops back to pass. Rolls to his right. He's going to keep it, and he gets it to about the 28, maybe 27-yard line as he's knocked towards the sideline. I don't think completely out of bounds. I think he stayed in. Good rush by Irwin. Now number 89 coming in for the Lions. Again, this will be easier once we have full rosters and uniforms and names and so forth. A lot of practice jerseys tonight. But the Lions have looked good. You know, the defensive series, great job by Pope John to shut down the Bulldogs and then force a punt, which was fumbled, and the Lions special teams able to recover it. So now they're working in plus territory. 2nd and short for Pope John from the Shabazz 28. Irwin in the shotgun again. Man in motion is Joshua. They hand it off. Running back through the middle, up the left side, towards the near hash mark. They'll get to about the 26, maybe 25. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Lions. So Irwin back to the huddle. Pope John up to the line. 3rd and 3 to go for the Lions. Irwin back to pass out to number 18. Makes the catch. Flagged down as he's hit. Got back to about the line of scrimmage. That's probably it. We'll see what the flag is about. And it's against the Lions. Well, we'll see if Shabazz accepts the penalty or if they decline it and force the Lions into a 4th down. 6:01 to go, first quarter, no score between the Pope John Lions and the Shabazz Bulldogs. We're here at Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey. So the ball placed back at the 37, 38-yard line. Irwin in the shotgun. Takes the snap, rolls to the far sideline. Pass to the sideline. Caught. Inbounds? No. They're saying incomplete. As a receiver for the Lions out of bounds. So that's going to bring up 4th down for Pope John. Ball spotted at the Shabazz 37-yard line, so I would think way too far for a field goal opportunity. So the punting unit coming on the field right now. Now, the punter is wearing a jersey. It's cropped against a blue T-shirt. It says number 11. I'm going to venture it's not Luke Romano, though. It looks to be Seamus Corcoran. So Corcoran on the roster as number 35, but I think this is Corcoran with the punt. High end over end kick. Trying to coffin corner it. We got a whistle. They're going to spot the ball at about the 13-yard line. So good kick by Corcoran as it goes out of bounds. Not quite in that coffin corner where it's like the 5-yard line right before the end zone. But it does move Shabazz back. So 5:40 to go. First quarter. Scoreless here in Newark, New Jersey. Shabazz with their second offensive series. Pope John defense out on the field. Played very well in that first set. We'll see what they do here. Quarterback for Shabazz takes the snap. Big hit right at the line as a running back stopped there. Number 21 for the Bulldogs. So Kareem Costa, the quarterback for the Bulldogs, handing it off and nowhere to go for the tailback. Number 21. Again, number 21 not on my roster for Shabazz. So, again, the numbers are all going to be different. We'll just go ahead and work with it as best we can tonight. I guarantee the rosters will be right and exact come Saturday, August 30th at noon at Pope John High School. A rematch between the Lions and the DePaul Catholic Spartans for last year's state title. That rematch on opening day. Pass out to the near flat. And the Pope John defense meeting the receiver for Shabazz right at the catch. It's going to bring up 3rd and short for the Bulldogs.
Watch the ball, guys.
Shabazz going to have to get to the 23. Spotted at the 20, maybe 21. Call it 3rd and 3. Costa in the gun. Takes a snap, drops back to pass, fires toward the far sideline, way over the head of the intended receiver, number 1 for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up 4th down. So another 3 and out for the Pope John defense. And coaching staff for the Lions, including head coach Tom Gaston, is going to be happy with that. .4:11 to go in quarter number 1. So now number 10, Costa back out on the field for Shabazz. He's going to punt, or if they're going to, he's dropping back to punt. So I'm assuming he's going to make the effort. Here it is, takes the snap. Oh, almost blocked by the Lions there. May have gotten a piece of it, and it takes a Shabazz bounce over their own 40 And number 48 is going to down it at the Shabazz 42. So again, excellent field position for the Lions as they start their third drive of this scrimmage. 4 minutes to go in quarter number 1. We're going to take a break and be right back to Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium. No score between Pope John and the Shabazz Bulldogs right here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Welcome back to Newark. As we had a quick break, Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium. 4 minutes to go in this first quarter here. Luke Irwin in the gun, hands off. The running back looks to be Nick McNone, and he is stopped by number 18 or number 10. Another number 10 for Shabazz. This one in their traditional black and gold uniform. So he makes a stop on the running back. And now the ball spotted at the 45, so a loss of 3 on the play. Clock continues to run, 3:33 to go. Irwin standing behind the 50-yard line in Pope John territory. In the shotgun, he drops back, looking for a receiver. Flush to the far side. He's going to keep it, runs down to the 40, to the 35, and out of bounds. A nice pickup by Luke Irwin, and it'll be close to the first down. And they give Pope John Lions the first down there, so. Ball spotted at the 32. So first down, Pope John. From the Shabazz 32, Irwin got just enough to move the chains.
Here we go, Lions!
Now, Pope John up to the line. Irwin in the gun. He's worked from there exclusively today. Pass to the sideline. Reception made. And the receiver for the Lions, with about 3-4 yards after the catch, gets across the 30. That'll set up second down. Clock down to 2:35 remaining in the opening quarter. Irwin in the shotgun again. Scott is running back to the left. Drops back to pass. Flushed towards the near side. Pass across the middle. He got flags down. And the receiver for Pope John goes down in a heap with 3 Bulldogs surrounding him. But again, a flag on the play, and we'll see what it's about. And it's against Pope John. So a holding call against the Lions, and that'll move the ball back. They're spotting it now at the Shabazz 39-yard line. So second and long for Pope John. Irwin from the far hash mark. He's in the gun. He drops back off his back foot. Makes the catch. The receiver goes across the 30 and is tackled there. So a gain of about 9 on the play. And now a more manageable third and long for Pope John as opposed to that second and very long setup. So a gain of about 9 for Pope John, and that'll set up a 3rd and 9. The Lions have to get to the 22-yard line for a first. Spot the ball at the 31. From the far hash mark, Irwin again in the shotgun. He's got a running back to his right now. The handoff on the draw play. Running back takes it up the middle. Met right at the 30, so maybe he got about a yard on the play. So now with a minute to go here in this first quarter, Pope John faces a 4th and long again. And again, nowhere near field goal opportunity. So the ball's at the 30, so We'll see if the Lions go for it here. Irwin's going back to the huddle. So I think they're going to go for it on this 4th and long. You got to get to the 22, so 4th and 8. Lions up to the line. Irwin in the shotgun again. Clock down to 18 seconds for the first quarter. Irwin barking out signals. Takes the snap. Drops back. Looking. Oh, he's met by the defensive end for Shabazz, number 76, with the sack. Number 78, I should say. And the Bulldogs take down Irwin and force Pope John to turn it over. 5 seconds to go here in the first. And the Bulldogs will get the ball back. They spot the ball at the 37-yard line of Shabazz. So now the Bulldogs come to the line. Looks like a new quarterback in there for the Bulldogs. Takes a snap, handoff, right up the middle. Still on his feet. Good second effort by the Bulldogs running back. Still moving the pile. Wow. From about the 45, he was able to take it into Pope John territory and get down to about the 47-yard line, maybe 48. So a great individual effort by the running back there for Shabazz, and that is the last play of the first quarter. No score between Pope John and the Shabazz Bulldogs. We'll come back for second quarter action right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Welcome back to Newark, New Jersey and Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium here just about 10 miles west of New York City. Mike Formisano along with you calling today's scrimmage between the Pope John Lions and the Shabazz Bulldogs. Second quarter beginning now as the handoff goes to number 1 right up the middle for the Bulldogs and across the 40-yard line and close to the first down marker. So I don't know if he has it. It's going to be close. Maybe a yard shy. Well, they mark him down on the Shabazz side of the 40-yard line, so second and about 2, maybe 3 to go. Quarterback in the shotgun, number 15 now. Hands off to number 5, racing towards the far hash mark and beyond, and the Pope John defense meets him there. Good effort by the Lions. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short. So we got a 3rd and 1. The ball's at the Pope John 39, and the Bulldogs have to get to the 38. Timeout on the field. Shabazz wants to talk things over. 10:55 to go, second quarter. We'll take a break and be back right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. No score between Pope John and Shabazz. Welcome back to Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey for Pope John Lions exhibition football. Mike Formisano here, calling today's game. No score between the Pope John Lions and the Shabazz Bulldogs. Shabazz heading right to left down your screen. Pope John left to right. Third and short. It's a draw play. Back up the middle, and the Pope John Lions defense stands tall there as the Lions do not let the running back go across that first down marker. And I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was it. So that's going to bring up fourth down for Shabazz. 4th and 1 at the 39. And what do you do? What do you do if you're Shabazz? You have to go for it here. 4th and 1. It's in Pope John territory. They're nowhere near a field goal. They're not going to punt it. So 4th and 1. Busting it right up the middle. And I don't think he got it. I think the Pope John defense stood tall. We'll see where the referees mark the ball. I don't think he got that first down. He had to get a full yard, and that did not appear to be anywhere close to where Shabazz needed to get to. First down, Pope John. They say that Shabazz came up a full yard short, so the ball marked at the 39-yard line. They needed to get to the 38. No dice for the Bulldogs, and the Lions take over. 10-14 to go, second quarter, and Pope John back to offense. You can see, as I was talking about earlier, look at Prince Joshua walking on the field. He doesn't have a number on the practice jersey. It says blur underneath, but he's got the white helmet. And that's the white helmet that the Lions are going to be wearing this season. That is their official helmet now, as all the other players have the Guardian cap on, either the blue or gold, but the uniforms for Pope John, mostly white and blue, or blue and white with gold really reduced. And it trims the numbers, but that's it. Well, Lions back on the field here. Irwin in the gun, Joshua in motion. Handoff goes back to the tailback. I think that's McNown. And he comes towards the near sideline. Can't turn the corner as the Bulldog defense shuts him down. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't even think he got that. I think he lost a yard on the play. 2nd and 11 for Pope John, just under 10 minutes to go in this first half. It is a beautiful summer night here in Newark, New Jersey. We're glad you're with us for this last exhibition game, really the only exhibition game for Pope John before the season starts. 2 scrimmages before, mostly controlled scrimmages, so you'd have set plays, but not a game like this. Irwin takes a snap, handoff, met right at the line of scrimmage or before it. The Shabazz defenders meeting McNown just as he takes the ball from Irwin. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long. Whereas he lost a yard last time, he lost a good 6 or 7 there. So 3rd in the country mile for Pope John. If you have to ask what the country mile is, I couldn't tell you. 8:52 to go, second quarter. No score between Pope John and Shabazz. The regular season starts next Saturday at noon. It's a home game. Pope John hosting DePaul Catholic. The freshmen will play at 9 a.m. at DePaul Catholic. You're going to see that a lot this season. 4 times the freshmen have to play in the morning of games that Pope John's hosting the other team. Well, the teams didn't want to move the games, so, what are you going to do? That's when they get the games. That's when they're going to play them. Well, now the referee's respotting the ball, and the sideline markers adjusting. It is 3rd and long for Pope John. They have to get to their own 49-yard line for a first down. So Pope John up to the line. Irwin in the shotgun. 8:15 and counting, second quarter. Irwin takes a snap, drops back to pass. Under pressure, gets it off. Right across the flat. On the near side. Still on his feet. And down to about the 48, maybe 49-yard line. And if that didn't get Pope John a first down, they got everything but. That's going to be about an 18-yard reception on that third down. So they're going to mark the ball at the 47-yard line. 4th and 2 for Pope John. What a great effort there.
Go, boys! Go,
Well, the Lions going to go for it. Irwin in the gun again. McNolan behind him. Hand out to McNolan. Oh, he's met right in the backfield again as Shabazz not fooled there. And that's going to turn it over to the Bulldogs. So, fool me once, and Shabazz took the bait. And they weren't fooled again. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the Pope John 45. 7:20 to go, second quarter. No score between the Lions and the Bulldogs from an absolutely perfect evening here in Newark, New Jersey at Shabazz Stadium. Temperatures in the low 70s, not a cloud in the sky. Still enough sunshine to be able to play this game without the lights, although the towers can turn on. We can get these last quarter to quarter and a half maybe under the lights. Running back up the near hash mark, gets across the line of scrimmage and maybe gets a yard on the play. 7:11 to go, second quarter. Well, the referee spot the ball at the 43, so make it 2nd and 8. After the opening game of the regular season on August 30th, Pope John will hit the road to take on Paramus Catholic in their only Friday night game of the regular season. Friday Night Lights at Paramus Catholic High School against the Paladins. That'll be at 7 p.m. on September 5th. Number 15, back to pass, towards the far sideline, makes a catch, but a great hit by number 44 there for Pope John. Gonna check the roster and see who that is. Tommy Walton. Walton, the sophomore linebacker, making the tackle there. Great stop there by Walton. So a gain of about 3 on the catch, and it's now 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Quarterback in the gun. Drops back to pass. A sea of Lions after him. He flushes out to the far side. Tackled at about the 35, maybe 34. Looks like he got the first, but he paid for it along the far sideline as the Pope John defense guns him down. So he stayed in bounds, so the clock down to 5:35 and counting. That is going to be a first down for Shabazz. So he took the hit, but he got the first down. Now the Bulldogs up to the line. 1st and 10 for Shabazz from the Pope John 34. Quarterback in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Number 10 again for Shabazz. Flushed out to the far side and whipped around, thrown out of bounds by number 3 for the Pope John Lions. I'm going to flag down on the play. We'll see what the call is. Referee's conferring. Personal foul against Shabazz, so that's going to move the ball back. Heading back to midfield. 15-yard penalty against Shabazz brings the ball all the way back to the 49-yard line of Pope John. So a 15-yard personal foul penalty against the Bulldogs, and it will be 1st and long for Shabazz. Clock down to 4:54 remaining in the second quarter. Scoreless here in Newark. Snap. Goes back to the quarterback. Out of the pocket. Met there by number 60 for Pope John. And the sack. Nice sack by the Lions. Number 60 for Pope John. I don't have a name on him, so we'll just go with the number. Well, the Pope John defense not fooled there. And they're able to complete the sack bring up second down. 4:10 and counting. Shadows creeping along the near sideline of the field here at Shabazz Stadium. So the Bulldogs knocked back into their own half of the field. It is second and long. And we got to get to the Pope John 24 for first. Man in motion is number 4. Quarterback takes the snap, number 15, towards the far sideline. It's tipped, knocked incomplete. Another good defensive effort by Pope John. That'll bring up third and long for Shabazz. Try and figure out exactly how many yards they have to get. So 26. Ball spotted at the 48, so I had another 2 on. I feel like I'm doing middle school math. 3rd and 28 for Shabazz here.
Let's go, Maroon.
Clock down to 3:33. Number 15 towards the far sideline. Almost intercepted as the Pope John secondary coming up on that. There wasn't a Shabazz receiver within 5 yards of that pass, but there certainly was a defensive back for Pope John, and it bounced just in front of him. And we have 4th down. Clock stopped with 3:26 to go, second quarter. And now Shabazz definitely going to punt here. Back to receive for the Lions is Prince Joshua. Here's the snap, the punt. High end over end punt. Down to about the 25. Joshua with the fair catch. And Pope John will take over from there. Nice catch by Joshua. 3:19 to go, first half. Scoreless here in Newark between Pope John and Shabazz. We'll take a quick break. Be right back on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube. Well, welcome back to Newark, New Jersey. When I said quick break, I meant it. Quick break, and we are back. Pope John, 1st and 10. They spot the ball at the 20-yard line. Irwin in the gun again. Quick outlet to the far side. And that's to be known. And he is knocked out of bounds at about the 25. So gain of maybe 3 or 4 there. Well, they say he stayed in bounds as the clock continues to run. We're down to 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. I don't think halftime is going to be that long, but they're definitely going to have a halftime of some sort. So when we hit the half, we'll stop this feed. We'll start up a new one like we did all last year. Start a new feed, and then we'll come on back. Handoff right up the middle. Good pickup of about maybe 3 there. It's going to bring up 3rd down. I'm trying to remember, I think I said number 60 on the sack earlier from Pope John. Didn't have a name on that. I recognize number 60 is the helmet's off. It's Mike Morelli. So Morelli making that sack there earlier. So good play by him. He was over at the trainer's table. Jordan Martin making sure that he's all wrapped up and want to make sure he's okay. 2 minutes to go here, second quarter. Irwin drops back. Across the middle to number 18. Oh, a big hit. And it's knocked loose there by Shabazz, number 2, as the ball is jarred loose. Now, the only question is, did he have possession and make forward motion in order to complete the catch, or was it knocked loose before he had full possession? That flag's out as well, so we'll see what the referees rule. It was real close. Number 18 taking the reception from Luke Irwin, but did he have it long enough to complete a catch because it was knocked loose by number 2 from Shabazz? They're saying fumble. Pope John saying incomplete, plus we get the flag down as well. All right, they're picking up the flag from the field, so no penalty. And they're saying that it was a catch and a fumble. So Shabazz is going to take over on offense. Pope John not happy about the ruling there, but Shabazz will come back on the field. It's ruled a catch and a fumble and recovered by number 2 from the Bulldogs. So Shabazz in Pope John territory at the 28-yard line. Bad break for Pope John. It was a nice reception, and the ball just jarred loose there.
Mike, what's the instant replay on that?
Later.
Now, Mike.
Minute 43 to go. 103 ticks in this first half. Spot the ball at the Pope John 28. 1st and 10 for Shabazz. Quarterback again, number 10. Man in motion is number 9 for Shabazz. Takes a snap, hand off the 5, cuts up the middle. On the near hash mark, stopped at about the 22, 23-yard line. Oh, Shabazz in a hurry up. They say it was a first down, so he got over 10. The running back there for Shabazz not getting 10 yards. He's met just past the line of scrimmage, so short gain for Shabazz. They're trying to hurry up so they can at least get in field goal position, get some points on the board here in this first half. No score would have been at 13 and counting between Pope John and Shabazz. We're with you live here from Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey. Mike Formasano along with you on Pope John Lions TV. We're so glad you are with us. And again, looking forward to an incredible season of Pope John athletics. My thanks going out to everyone with the Catholic Academy of Sussex County, the administration, the players, the coaches, the families, and you who was watching. So thank you for all of that. Number 10 with the pass towards the far sideline, and number 0 making the catch, staying in bounds. What a catch by the Bulldogs receiver. Pope John forcing him out of bounds just shy of the goal line, but it's going to be a 1st and goal situation with 37 seconds to go. They spot the ball at the 3. It's a 1st and goal. Bulldogs knocking on the door. Pope John trying to prevent them from getting in before the end of this first half. Quarterback in the shotgun again. Both quarterbacks have worked exclusively from the gun. Hand off to number 1 right up the middle. And met there and a flag down on the play. So the Pope John defense coming up large again to stop the halfback from crossing the goal line. But we've got a penalty. It's against Shabazz. So I think it's a false start. And the Bulldog coaching staff is up in arrears right now. Wow. They are furious on that call. I don't know if they're yelling at the referees or at the players. But regardless, it's a 5-yard penalty against Shabazz with 32 seconds to go. Actually, that's a 10-yard penalty, so the ball moved back to the 13-yard line. So I guess it wasn't a false start, it was a holding penalty. Well, we'll bring up 1st and goal again, this time from the 13 of Pope John as opposed to the 3. Quarterback in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Stays in the pocket. Now to the far side, the pass. They're saying incomplete. Yeah, no reception on the play. I'm trying to see that far into the end zone, and not a very demonstrative call by the referee one way or another, but it does leave 1 second on the clock. So an incomplete, and that is going to allow, that 1 second is going to allow Shabazz a chance at a field goal here. It's going to be a long one, though, 30 yards. Number 36, the place kicker. Here's the snap, placed down, the kick is up. It's got the distance. It's good. a last-second field goal by Shabazz to end the first half, and that will give them a 3-0 lead. We're at the half. Players are going to go ahead and take a few minutes, and we are as well. We'll come back with a new feed right here on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube for second half action. I'd say about 5-10 minutes. So give us about 5-10 minutes. Players will go off to each side of the field. They'll convene, and they'll come back for second half action. From Malcolm X Shabazz Stadium in Newark, New Jersey, it's the Shabazz Bulldogs 3 and the Pope John Lions no score. We'll come back for second half action right after this on Pope John Lions TV on YouTube.